is another great thing for all the folks that live here. Real estate village rate remains at the 135.2555 mils. Also happy to share with the public that we will have no new debt this year, and our debt payments will remain constant. And as Mrs. Van Clemens has pointed out, and we showed in our finance meetings, that we have a goal of another 5 years to get through our current debt, and then our debt drops by half, down to about $6 million a year, and then in another year it drops down to about $3 or $4 million for a few years, and it really then falls completely away. So the district is very close to being in the next 5 to 10 years of being debt free, which is really exciting. From the instructional side, this is slide 3, Danny. We are increasing our middle school guidance services throughout the district. We are increasing our middle school gifted services throughout the district. We're adding 3 instructional coaches in the district, and we're adding elementary STEM classes this year. We're also increasing our instructional technology by adding additional laptops and iPads at both the middle and elementary level. And the last slide, some operational highlights from this year's budget. This year we're able to begin transportation for kindergarten students one way. We're able to continue to fund our school bus replacement program. We started this program in 16-17 was the first year we added dollars to the budget for school board replacement, and the board has been very gracious to us each year since then. We've been able to maintain our funding level in the budget and continue to replace the school board or the school buses. And if you see this Pennridge school buses out on the road, you can start to see the efforts of the board, what the board has done, because we're starting to get some pretty sharp looking buses. It's really neat. It's really neat. So, but we're going to continue through that program, and we're going to work through. We're still not there yet, as we saw at the finance meeting, where the board approved us to go out to bid. So we're going to go back and work on that, and then we're going to bring some bids back to the board in hopefully July for another set of new buses, and have those buses in place hopefully by Christmas time. So. Our current 6-year capital projects plan is 100% funded. It's another project that we worked very hard over the last 6 months on, and we have really set the district up in the capital projects area with a nice plan. It's, like I said, it's fully funded, and we'll continue to work through that plan. And that was a lot of hard work last summer by Mrs. Van Clemens and Katie Dolan. So thank you for that work that you put in. This summer we're doing a lot of work in the district. We're air conditioning all the large space areas in all the elementary buildings to really try to relieve some of that heat in the early fall and late spring or the summertime frame for those kids. We're going to be doing some extensive paving throughout the district of a lot of the buildings. We're also going to be doing some electrical work at Didler. We're going to do some concrete work. We're doing flooring work at Goof. We're doing window and masonry summer projects here at the high school. So there's going to be a lot of buildings touched this summer with some work. So we're excited about that. And we're also excited about that we're adding additional safety and security personnel in the district. So it's been a great budget process this year, and it's just been a great team effort, and I'm really excited about it. So thank you for giving me an opportunity to.
Thank you very much for all of your hard work. And going back to the school buses thing, I just want to highlight that Mr. Geiger and Mr. Dolber have this, the system down pat now, where they go out to bid for the buses early enough that we get a better price than everybody else because of this planning and getting out there early so we make sure that we get the better pricing. And then obviously by having the newer buses, our buses are safer for our students and our staff, and and more cost effective because we don't have the breaking down and all of the other issues that come along with that. So thank you so much for all of your hard work on that too. Were there any other questions or comments? I saw you going. I didn't know.
I just say that this is the first budget vote. This is the proposed budget vote, and then the budget will be available for public inspection for 30 days. We'll put it on our website. We will put it in the office, the DAO office. We'll advertise that, and then the board will vote a second time at the June voting meeting, and that'll be the final vote on the budget.
Thank you very much. Okay, we'll do a roll call.
Mrs. Vance Clemens,
Yes.
Mrs. Cullen,
Yes.
Mrs. Dolan,
Yes.
Ms. Kildare,
Yes.
Mr. Kraus,
Yes.
Mr. Rice,
Yes.
Dr. Thompson,
Yes.
Mrs. Walters,
Yes.
and Dr. Yarnell.
Yes.
Okay, passes 9-0. Okay, next is the IU report. The Bucks County Intermediate Unit Board met on Tuesday, April 16th. The next meeting is going to be on Wednesday. Actually, that's not accurate. It's not Wednesday, May 15th. It was moved back to the following week. Yeah, I believe it's the 22nd. And it's not in the regular location either, so we'll update the website because it's not at the intermediate unit in Doylestown this month. But just to share some highlights from the last meeting, the Bucks County Intermediate Unit entered its website into the Pennsylvania School Public Relations Association's annual digital media contest for media designed to provide an online presence to the public. Out of over 175 total entries, and from the largest category of entries, we were honored to receive the highest honor of an Award of Excellence. Under the direction of Robin Gross, Educational Marketing Lead, the site's structure, design, content, images, and launch were managed with the support of an outside vendor. Robin proudly accepted the award at the annual Penspra Symposium held in Shippensburg, PA. Also, save the date for the Bucks County Intermediate Unit Education Foundation's annual Golf Classic on July 15th, and help fund grants to support students through our intermediate unit. The Golf Classic takes place at the Doylestown Country Club. The Bucks County Intermediate Unit also shared a report on the success of the early childhood programs that provide high-quality preschool programming for the county's most at-risk children. 4 programs fall under the umbrella of early childhood programs: preschool, early intervention, Head Start, early Head Start, and pre-K counts. All of these programs are designed to change the trajectory of lives of the children we serve. We partnered with the IU to house 2 of their pre-K counts classrooms here at Pennridge, one at Divler and one at West Rock Hill. The Bucks County Intermediate Unit is also the host to the Region 8 Education for Children and Youth Experiencing Homelessness program. Bucks County, Delaware County, Montgomery, Lehigh, and Northampton counties are contained within the ECYEH Region 8, which includes more than 69 school districts and over 25 charter schools. This is also the region where more than 6,540 students are reported as experiencing homelessness during the 2018-2019 school year, with 636 of those students originating from Bucks County. This number represents over 2,300 more children and youth than in previous years, and there are still several more months left to report. One of the program goals for these most at-risk children and youth is to reduce barriers that inhibit the educational experiences and expose the children and youth to possible career choices. Regional Coordinator Michelle Connor and Regional Site Coordinator Kathy Bursa with support and collaboration with Dr. Lindsay Sides, Supervisor of STEAM Education, decided that providing learning opportunities focused on STEAM activities at 4 family shelters within Region 8 would be ideal. Each child who is residing at one of these homeless shelters is able to engage with STEAM activities, including coding and engineering. The programs have been provided on 4 Saturdays, starting in March and concluding in May. Students are then given a project to take home to help solidify the skills they learned while they were there. So a lot of great things happening at the Bucks County Intermediate Unit. And again, we will update the website with the accurate date and time for the next meeting. And next we have personnel. Dr. Yarnell?
Thank you. The Personnel Committee has not been since our last April board meeting, and certainly not in May. But I do have 3 motions tonight to bring before the board. 2 of these have to do with the changes that related to the budget positions. First of all, we have 3 of the K-12 supervisor positions that the administration has brought to us for appointment. Those include Mr. Howard Vogel as the K-12 mathematics supervisor, Ms. Dina Dormer as the K-12 science supervisor, and Mr. Keith Traverka as the K-12 supervisor of social studies. These folks will be effective July 1, 2019. Their salaries are listed as $136,515 for Mr. Vogel, $118,479.44 from Ms. Dormer, and $128,782 for Mr. Traverka. I make a motion that we approve these 3 K-12 supervisors.
Okay, questions or comments from board members? Okay, I'm excited to see the continuation of the curriculum up from the kindergarten level up through 12th grade and the benefits that will have and the extra instructional support that's going into the classrooms to support our teachers and help implement the curriculum. So, any other questions or comments? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 9-0.
The second second motion has to do with the approval of 3 new elementary principal positions. This motion will have Mrs. Joan Coleza as the principal for Grass Elementary, Ms. Stephanie Washam as the principal of Bedminster Elementary, and Ms. Nia DiPaolo as the principal of West Rock Hill Elementary. They're all effective July 1, 2019. And their salaries are all $139,927. I make a motion that we approve these 3 new principals.
Second. Seconded by Mrs. Cullen. Questions or comments from board members? I'd like to congratulate Joan Coleza on becoming a new principal, and Mrs. DiPaolo for her new journey ahead at West Rock Hill, and welcome back Mrs. Washam, who we got to steal back from the Shabby, so thank you very much. She was a huge part of rolling out our literacy initiative at the elementary school, so we're really excited to have her back. Any other questions or comments? Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 9-0.
With those motions, I do want to introduce or reintroduce and at least recognize the 3 staff members who are here tonight and ask them to stand so that we can congratulate them and thank them for their work. First is Dr. Dina Dormer, who is currently the secondary science supervisor, but as of July 1 will become the K-12 supervisor. Ms. Joan Coleza, who will be the new principal of Grass effective July 1, 2019. Little known fact, that's where her children went. She was interim principal there for 2 months, 3 months.
About 2.5.
2.64 months. And then Ms. Stephanie Washam, the principal of Bedminster Elementary. Little known fact, Ms. Washam was a student at Bedminster Elementary School and has already scoped out her 4th grade classroom. All right, never mind. So congratulations to all 3 of you. Look forward to your work.
Last motion has to do with the approval of an agreement between the Pennridge School District and employee number 8841. I move that we approve this agreement.
Seconded by Mr. Kraus. Questions or comments from board members? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 9-0.
The next Personnel Committee is scheduled for Monday, June 10th, 2019.
Thank you. And I just want to say that I personally know that everyone in the science department is really excited that they get to keep you, so. And the next up is policy. Ms. Kildare?
Okay, last time we met was on April 29th. Tonight we have a couple of policies, first reading and following policies. Before I get to do my thing, about them. I'm going to make a motion to approve the first reading and following policies. Policy number 124.2, dual enrollment, dual current enrollment, policy 214, class rank, and policy number 7076, school facilities.
Seconded by Mrs. Cullen. Questions or comments from board members? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 9-0.
Okay, there are no scheduled policy committee meetings for remainder of the 2018-19 school year.
Thank you. Technology, Mr. Rice?
And here we are, technology. All right, so I'll just leave it at that. I had something funny to say with this. Never a doubt it's technology can't live without, right? Something like that, something corny. We had a good meeting. Mrs. Miller came and she brought us some updates on some classroom management software. She's going to continue to run pilots through the end of the school year, and hopefully through the summer and through the end of the school year, we're going to have something for devices for classroom management software. She gave us an update on device case update, little combination of accidental damage protection and the cost of the cases and stuff like that. So she gave some updates on that. Great video of all the details, and we also have some tools and integrations for the elementary teachers. All of the elementary teachers are going to be receiving an iPad, so they should be able to be on the same wavelength as their students. So that is awesome. Next technology we will meet on. It's June 10th. Wow, June already. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Rice. And next is the Upper Bucks County Technical School, Mrs. Dolan.
Thank you. The Upper Bucks County Technical School met on Thursday, April 18th. Some highlights from that meeting, a lot were already mentioned by the time it gets to me. We had signing day up at Lehigh, and 18 students signed on to go to college within their programs. Mechatronics took first place, the grand champion at the World Bowl bot competition. Last meeting, we approved opening of 2 new programs, HVAC and biosciences. Also, our food truck arrived. I got to see that today. It was really exciting. Jeff took me in, we checked out the food truck, and I believe today the guy was coming out to check, to see if it was prepped enough to put the wrap on. If it wasn't prepped enough, our auto body students are gonna sand and paint and get it prepped to be wrapped. It was very nice. We'll see it on Thursday, because our next meeting is Thursday. So the student of the month for April was Andrew Rockman, and he is a Biggertown student. We had a job fair, and it was very well attended. And also now all the boards, Palisades, Biggertown, us have voted on our budget, and it was approved. So those are the highlights from the tech school, and we'll meet again on Thursday, May 16th, and everyone's welcome to come there as well. Thank you.
Yes. Thank you. And next is Act 48, Mrs. Walters. Okay, the Act 48 committee did not meet in May, and we have no more scheduled Act 48 committee meetings for the remainder of this school year. So see you again in the fall. Thank you. And next is the Pennridge Area Coordinating Committee. Ms. Thompson?
The Pennridge Area Coordinating Committee met on April 25th. Just give you some highlights, some updates from the various municipalities. Silverdale reported that the borough's Green Street project is underway. Sorry, it's more exciting than I had. It's a big deal. So, West Rock Hill reported that the Holiday House pool opens Memorial Day weekend.
Trying to keep us away.
Trying. So, Bedminster reported that the Weiss Market at the corner of 313 and 113 is hoping for an opening before the end of the year. So that's great news. Dublin reported before the end of the year. Dublin reported that their downtown redevelopment involving the Tech Center, Grandview Hospital, and possibly the diner continues to move forward. And they announced that Community Day at Supley Park is June 1st. I like the way I do it. East Rock Hill reported that a conference hearing regarding the quarry's efforts to install an asbestos plant is scheduled for May 17th, and they have sought the assistance of State Senator Santisero regarding the recent DEP recommendation to deal with the PFAS contamination issue. Percy reported that the annual Fall Festival will be October 6th, and Menlo Pool opens Memorial Day weekend. And also they had a kids umpire clinic, so that's exciting. A lot of really fun things going on. Also Sellersville reported that the bridge construction on Main Street that is very close to the firehouse near the 5-point intersection is expected to be completed mid-June. But they're already paving, so we think they'll probably be done by the end of the month. The railroad bridge, however, is going to close immediately after they're done. Sorry, folks. Sorry. So good news and bad news. And Sellersville also wanted to report that the Memorial Day Parade is being held in Sellersville this year on May 25th. And the Holiday House Pool also, they reported, opens May 26th. And the meeting concluded at 8 p.m. The next meeting will be May 23rd. Just for fun. At the Pennridge Community Center at 7 p.m.
Thank you, Dr. Thompson. And unfortunately, I was hoping that we'd be able to get the food truck is not going to be able to make Memorial Day, but I know there's several other events coming up in Percy that they're going to be able to make. So excited to see our food truck roll up for those. I think we're going to be, putting some other food trucks out of business because they have pretty good food. Next is the Pennridge Community Educational Foundation. Mrs. Cullen.
I will have no fanfare. The PCEF met on May 4th. As Dr. Bolton already mentioned, we had the evening event, a lovely evening on April 30th, where the 3 teachers were honored. So you already mentioned them, so I'll just mention other highlights of the night. I really enjoyed each person's acceptance speech. I thought was very entertaining, so don't miss it next year. It won't be the same people that win, but I'm sure they'll want to live up to that and have entertaining speeches as well. And Mr. Simpkin stepped in, our physics teacher. He was the MC for the evening. He wore a tuxedo, and he really, brought an air of class to the event, and he just had a great time doing it. He was very entertaining as well. So it was a great night, and our students performed beautifully as always. Their voices and their musical talents just awesome. We were bouncing around to the jazz band music. So it was a great night, and we've received a thank you note that I just got from one of the grants, the awardees of one of our grants. And so just remember that the PCEF, everything that you donate to them goes right into our classrooms and benefits our students. So, and you can donate at any time on the website. The next meeting will be Saturday, June 1st at 8:30 a.m. in the Penn Community Bank across the street from Down to Earth Cafe.
Thank you. Next is old business. Okay, new business.
I have a little bit of new business. I went to a meeting today of the Regional Adolescent Sleep Needs Coalition, which is a mouthful. Back in October, when Mrs. Baines-Clemens and I were at the school board's conference, there were members of the Radnor School Board and Radnor administration that were trying to get a Senate bill to be on the floor to have a vote. And at the time, it wasn't on the agenda at all, and so they asked us to contact our representatives to ask them to vote on it that day, which we did because it was just a bill to allow the state to do a study of sleep needs, which then that information could be disseminated to all public schools, or I guess any school really, so that the schools wouldn't have to do the studies themselves. So we called, and it went from not being on the agenda to passing unanimously that night. So we were pretty excited about that. And I've kept in touch with the group. I've attended some of their meetings, and it has become, in our area, something that a lot of schools are exploring. So today I happened to go to a meeting where they were celebrating Radnor's switch to it, and I just thought that I would give some information because I know that there has been discussion of it in the community here. There is updates on the Senate Bill 591 in Pennsylvania, which is amending the pupil transportation distance requirements in the school code. They hope to amend the distance requirements from the current 10 miles to only 5 miles. And they also mentioned some United States legislation, HR 1861, it's called the Z's to A's Act, and it's legislation to direct the U.S. Secretary of Education to conduct a study to determine the relationship between school start times and adolescent health, well-being, and performance. So it was introduced in the House on March 25th, and it's been referred to the House Committee on Education. So I just thought I would pass on, I'm going to post it later, but since I know people are interested in it, there's a website called startschoollater.net, and it contains a lot of information about the research. And so many schools have explored it, some have decided to do it, some have not. There's a lot of research behind it. Interestingly, they focused on mental health a lot. They know that it affects the students' mental health. So if you want to find more information about it, if you're interested in keeping up with the topic, as I said, you can go to startschoollater.net. I also have a lot of information that Radnor gave out today about their process. It's a long process, and it's not an easy process. So not that Pennridge is currently talking about it, but people in the community have been talking about it. So I wanted to give those folks an update on what's been happening.
Thank you, Mrs. Cohen. Anybody else for new business? Okay, then we're back to questions and comments from guests. The same rules apply as before. Any questions or comments? Seeing none. Okay, announcements. An executive session will be held following tonight's meeting to discuss legal and personnel matters. The next school board meeting is scheduled for Monday, June 17th, 2019. And I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, we're adjourned.